I'm Caroline Johnson, and this is my sister Angela Johnson, and we are here to talk to you about the difference between a captive agent and an independent agent. So, there are 3 different avenues that you can take for getting your auto, home, business insurance, and we're just going to kind of break those down for you so you can see the differences. So, Angela, what are the 3 different ways that you can get quotes?
Sure. Okay. You can go with a direct carrier. So that is going online and calling in an 800 number. You can go with a captive agent, and that is a local branch of a large insurance company. And the term captive means that they represent one carrier. Or you can go with an independent agent. Some people call them a broker because they represent multiple carriers.
Okay, and so let's go with an online company or 800 number. So what are the pros and cons of going that route?
Yeah, so I would say speed. You can do that in the middle of the night when you can't sleep, so that's convenient. You can go online and get your quote. Usually it's more for auto, not so much. I would be a little bit scared to get a home quote that way. I'm actually scared to get an auto quote that way because there isn't really any advice about coverages. So when we are looking at declarations pages and coverages of people who were quoting, that's the trade-off, I think, for speed is not understanding the coverages that you selected until it's time for a claim, and the general you didn't select the coverages that you need. So maybe felt like uninsured motorist was not necessary, but then somebody without insurance hits you and you find out that it is necessary.
Which happens pretty often.
Well, underinsured motorists too,
Yes.
like our client who got hit in Louisiana, where their limit is like so low. It's like 1970s is their minimum liability limits, and that person had like no coverage. The mother was life flighted to Houston. The daughter remained in Louisiana because she was in such critical condition, and there was no insurance. There was just medical bills. And anyway, that's a big thing that we see where you don't get this kind of advice.
Okay, and are there any, well, you did talk about the benefit, it's speed.
Yeah.
That's really it. Okay, so what about, let's say you're going to a captive agent. Let's go that route. What are the pros of going with a captive agent?
I would say that they're local. So you can walk into their office, meet face to face. There's a sign outside that you recognize and feel comfortable with because they've spent a lot of money on marketing. So that would be the pro of that.
Okay, what about con?
The con would be that they represent one carrier. That's what the term captive means. I think we talked about that at the very beginning. But when you're a captive agent and a client has a concern about their premium, the only thing that you're allowed to do is remove or reduce coverages or raise deductibles to lower the premium. There is nothing else that you can do without violating your contract and risk being terminated. So it's not a broad look at what's best for you as the client. A captive agent serves the company they represent. They are that company's agent. They are not your agent.
Wow. Okay, and so then let's talk a little bit about independent agents and how they work. What are their pros?
Okay, pros of an independent agent. They are also local. You can
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, they're local, but sometimes they're completely remote. Is that where you're going?
Right.
Okay. So for the most part, independent agents are local. You can walk right into their office, meet face to face, and talk through your insurance options. Quality, so when it comes to high quality coverages and companies that are A-rated or better, either on AM Best or Demotech, they generally represent those. They're not tied to one company, so their advice is tailored to you and what is best for you. And an independent agent or independent broker's duty is to the customer, not any one carrier. Another thing about price is the carriers that independent agents represent know that if they do crazy things with price, agents will just stop selling it. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot more control pricing wise.
Okay. Interesting. What about, is there any differences, are there any cons to going with an independent agent?
Do you think there are any cons to going with an independent agent? I don't know.
No, not that I know of. I mean, they have the ability to shop your policy through multiple carriers.
They work for you.
They work for you.
Not any one company. True. I think too, because there are so many carriers that they represent, they see the entire insurance market in your region as a whole, and can give better advice about companies and carriers and coverages and things like that.
So true.
So did we just say there's not any cons and just list out the same pros over?
I think so.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So
to wrap up, I would say those are the three options. Online, 800 number, direct carriers, that's one. Captive agents is two. These are big companies that you know the name of. And then independent agents. I will just say really quick one thing. You may not have always heard of the carriers that they're quoting, but that's because those companies don't spend just millions and millions and millions on marketing.
True.
They use independent agents to do the marketing and pass that savings on to you. That's just the bottom line. So you haven't heard of them, but if you're going with a reputable independent agent, they've done the work to make sure that they're representing good quality carriers that you can trust.
So true.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.